You may recognize this ladder from my previous video. We are about 600 feet underground in the bottom of a big abandoned mine, and this ladder leads up to the other upper levels. We found this when we explored two neighboring mines to our left. They were all connected underground, and we found ourselves at the bottom of this ladder. So we're gonna climb up this, check all the levels out, and hopefully make our way out of this mine by climbing all the way to the top and finding an access point that we can leave. If not, we'll have to go back through the other mines the way we came in. I'm here with Jeff from OTG Exploring right there in front of me. And yeah, so let's go check it out. We just climbed up from down there at the very bottom and made our way up to this, probably the 5th level. And so we're gonna check this tunnel out to the left, but right here, we have to cross this pit. And right here, down there at the bottom, you see that chute? That is actually an ore chute. Very rare to see an ore chute from inside like this. Usually we're looking up through the mouth of the chute, and they're usually full of rubble. This one happens to be totally clear. So they would shovel ore from this level down into there, and there'd be an ore cart on the other side of that chute on the lower level waiting to receive the ore. But we're gonna cross this plank here, and there's some ladders up here where Jeff is, around the corner there. Well, we've just come from that way. Here's one of the first ore chutes. Someone labeled this one Mr. Bill's Tunnel. January 2002. We might climb up in there on the way out to see where that goes. That goes up, looks pretty big up in there. Yeah, there's massive airflow in this tunnel. And a lot of these arrows that are painted on the ribs are saying exit or out. But like I mentioned in the last video, they have sealed up these mines for the most part. And if there is a way out, we probably can't use it because there'll be a gate in it or some kind of barrier. So, but at one time, yeah, you could come in this mine and go out by a different portal. So we'll see where it goes. Okay, we've come to a junction. A tunnel slopes down here where my light is. And then on the left, it goes up into a huge stope chamber, and there's a ladder there. Now, approaching this area, my oxygen meter made one beep. From what I could tell, it said the oxygen level was 19.5%, which is still doable. But Jeff said when he stuck his head up here, the air was humid and warm and smelled funny. But the airflow that we're feeling, which is pretty strong, is coming from down this way. And Jeff said down there, there's an arrow, somebody from the past, and wrote the word exit. So there may be another exit or portal to this mine somewhere on the back side of the hillside that this mine is on, and it might be down there. So we're gonna probably head down that way and basically follow the airflow, because wherever the air is coming from, that's where the exit is. So we just came from that way, and right here on these timbers, somebody wrote, "Soon death to you." And I think they mean going down here. But we're gonna head down here and check this out. So this big ore chute here, kind of unusual. It's got a hinged metal mouth there. I don't know, really haven't seen one like that before, but in some of these timbers here, there are some square head nails, so that really dates this as being some of the original workings. So the tunnel that goes down there on a slight incline basically bottoms out and dead ends at a dead end. There's nothing down there to see, so we'll check out some other areas of the mine. But that's about as low as we can go in this mine, down there. Everything else is going to be above us. We're going to have to travel upwards. Okay, we're gonna head up this ladder that's seen better days and check out that level where those pipes go off to the left there. Okay, just climbed up that rickety ladder, got up here to the drift level, and we're headed this way. Let's go check it out. Kind of have a large chamber here at this drift level is opening up into. And we just came from that way there. And see behind me here, more stopes. Looks like that might turn vertical right where my light is. So yeah, a lot of stopes in this mine. It's almost like one of those Swiss cheese mines that I've been in before. But yeah, something might have been there. A shaft or a winze, I don't know. Kind of goes down there. Depression. Okay, the tunnel continues that way, but check this out on my right. There was a chute here at one time coming from this pretty big stope. See that? Now remember, a stope is the underground cavern or void that remains after the miners remove all the ore. And that's what you're looking at here. And those vertical support timbers are called stalls. Kind of a funny word, but yeah, this was a chute. And it looks like it also continued down into a lower stope that way. Actually, I decided to come up into this stope instead of going down the tunnel. Let's just check this out real quick. Yeah, see that? Just a big chamber. Right there's a contact zone. See how smooth that is where my light is? And then they kind of left two big pillars here. They call this room and pillar mining when they leave behind these pillars of ore for support. And there's two of them here. Yeah, the stope continues down there to the left. Pretty much stops right here to the right. So we think we're in what used to be a major incline shaft to the surface. These timbers are enormous, almost a foot on each side, but there's a retaining wall here holding back rubble, and then you see miners' dots where my light is. They're kind of faint, so this was probably a haulage point. And you see a timbered arch right there where my light is. Well, the stope collapsed right there and came down, and see that timber that snapped right where my light is? That used to be probably horizontal up there, but it got pushed down right there where it snapped, and these kind of got shifted backwards. And these rocks here probably all came from right up in here when this, it's very fractured up there. You can see all the fracturing. So it's not very stable. It's not very stable ground here. So we're taking this tunnel through the stope. Yeah, here's more miners' dots. Interesting. They'd be here. I see some more right there. Right ahead you see a good example of the room and pillar method of mining. That big pillar in front of Jeff there, just like we saw behind us in the stope. So we just came from that tunnel where my light is. We came around the corner here and check this out. All these massive stalls, these support timbers. Pretty cool. It's a pretty big stope. Okay, so that right there says keep out closed. And if you look down there, yeah, it's that area down there is full of collapse, and that's why they stopped using that section of the mine. We're not going to go down there. It does go forward, but just too risky. But we can go up this way to the right. Kind of some big support timbers here. And look at that big rock there. That must have come from the ceiling. I mean, a collapse, I'm thinking. I don't know. But that's why they put these stalls in here for support. See, they go up here too.